What's up, everyone? My name is Vinnie Langdon. We're here at the 2012 Vacaville Police Department Volunteer Luncheon, where a lot of volunteers for the police department are actually getting recognized today. So you don't want to miss it here on Vacaville Community Television. Check this out. There you go.
Okay.
How's it going, Mayor Hardy?
Just great. Simply great.
Yeah? So you like these events, going out to them?
I love these events. These are all our special volunteers. You know, we have a police department that's way down on staff, and you know they still have lowered the crime rate 13%. And a lot of these people have been responsible. They're all the citizens that go out and do the things that can't be done by an officer right now. We're lucky to have them.
Yeah. And you have a law enforcement background, right?
Yes, sir, I do. I was a police officer in San Francisco many moons ago, and I retired from state service as director of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Department.
There we go. So you know what these people have to go through and deal with from day to day.
I do. You know, sometimes the public's wrath is not fun, and particularly in the kind of economy that we've had, you know. That works at the crime rate as well. But our department and these folks are just really kicking butt.
They are. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Mayor Hardy, good seeing you.
Good to see you always, my boy.
All right, let's go. All right, got more people here. Let's talk to them. Well, 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 look who it is. It's the one, the only, it's the K to the 9. That's right. Unfortunately, he doesn't do interviews these days. Isn't that unfortunate? But I know somebody who does do interviews, and they do them well, and that's the Llama of Vacaville. Alright. What's up, Llama? Llama doing long time? Alright, so I have the honor of being next to the Llama. Llama doing? Llama doing well. See? The Llama smiled. Yep. Llama long time? Yeah, Llama long time. I knew it.
Thank you. For those that don't know, I'm Police Chief Rich Word, and this is our annual volunteer recognition luncheon. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming out. It's a wonderful event. The volunteers and the staff of the police department, they spend this time decorating this event for themselves and for each of you. Before we begin with an invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, I would like to acknowledge my boss, a very strong supporter of our volunteer program in the police department, City Manager Laura Kim.
That's cool.
And then the mayor of our great city, he's going to come up before the presentation of awards to make a few remarks. Mayor Steve Hardy. Thank you. This means a lot to me, to the paid staff, and to our volunteers that you come out to recognize them for their compassion, their care, their patience, and the support of the city and the entire police department, our paid staff. They do a wonderful job for us in virtually every unit. They've expanded now beyond the police department, of course, to other departments to support the city. And it's wonderful for me. It's kind of inspiring and reassuring to see their faces every day, and they're uplifting, especially during this challenging time faced by us in the state and many other cities in this great state. So I'm going to ask our chaplain, before we begin, if he would come up, Chaplain Chuck Spencer, to offer the invocation.
Thank you, Chief Ward. It's always a pleasure to come and being able to pray with you all. Would you stand with me, please? I'm going to invite you to pray with me today. But before we do that, I'd like to honor today a fallen officer from last week. And his name is Robert Paris. He's from the Stanislaus Sheriff's Department. You've probably all heard about it on the news. And I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but last year there were 72 fallen officers across America. And this year we're at a total of 35. So I'd like to have, before we pray, I'd just like to have a moment of silence for Robert Paris and civilian Edwards. Could we do that before we pray, please? Let's bow our heads. Abba, Father, I address you today as our Creator and Redeemer, and I respectfully approach you today with praise and admiration for who you are, the caretaker and granter of life to your children. We're gathered here today to honor children, your children, for their dedication to the Vacaville Police Department as volunteers. Father, you measure life on earth by time, in years, in weeks and days, and even hours and minutes. We honor all of those volunteers who give a portion of their life for others. The years, the weeks, the hours, and even the minutes. I don't believe there is a greater honor than to freely give of ourselves to others. Lord, I'd ask that you would bless this gathering today. Bless each and every Vacaville Police Department volunteer. Bless them, to name a few, with happiness and satisfaction and companionship, good health and monetarily, and most of all with safety. Father, I praise you for being the giver of life and the caretaker of your children. Continue to bless the city of Vacaville and the Vacaville Police Department. And I pray in your Son's name. Amen. Amen. Please remain standing for the posting of the colors.
Order, arms! I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Salute, push! Wait.
Ready, step. Face. Forward. Mark.
Thank you. You may be seated. Would now like to bring up our Police Special Services Supervisor, Ms. Suzanne Johnson. She oversees our volunteer and crossing guards program and does a wonderful job supporting our volunteers, recruiting our volunteers, and of course recognizing them. So she'll walk us through today's program. Thank you.
You ready to have some fun? You've already been having fun, haven't you? All right, I want to just explain a couple little things before the day goes any farther. You have to earn tickets to get desserts over here. And there are some non-sugar, non-food prizes, like the hanging monkeys or the pumice lollipops. Sound like fun? Okay, so there's fun things over there. You want to get tickets by just playing the games and getting your picture taken with the line. You get a ticket. So you can play more than once. Get in line on the back of the line. You can play again. We'll do that after the award ceremony. And we'll probably be eating, but might even be able to do some while some are in line. So we'll see.
I love these kind of ceremonies. You know, we are in one of the toughest budget battles, along with almost every other city in California this year because of the loss of redevelopment. It created a $4 million hole in our budget, and it's money that wasn't misspent or misplanned or anything. The state just took it. They're still finding ways to come and take our money. And Vacaville is a great town. I love it. I think it's well managed. I think it's a great place to live, and people come up and tell me that all the time. But one of the real miracles going on right now is the police department. These are the best numbers I could get, but I think they're pretty close. They're down 1 lieutenant, 4 sergeants, and 19 sworn officers and non-sworn. Am I right? Yeah, sworn and non-sworn. So they still managed to lower the crime rate 13% this year. I mean, I'm telling you, kudos, because that's a significant statistic. The volunteers in police service who were here today to pay tribute to, and I just love the way this room was done. Thank you all who stood to decorate. I haven't seen this kind of a deal yet, and it really was quite nice. But they served 22,032 hours. 22,032 hours of service is valued to this city at $515,989. Now, I don't need to tell you how much that means in terms of helping the city stay safe. But it just is, you're just to be congratulated for an absolutely phenomenal job. You have the gratitude of myself and the city. And the volunteers also provided 345 public live scans, over $10,000 in revenue. Issued 1,186 parking citations, good, making money. And assisted with a monthly average of 200 code compliance cases. Now, I don't need to tell you how much that would suffer without you, because we don't have time for the sworn officers to do that anymore. So when people call and you say, I want to make this report, I'm sorry, you'll have to come and get a form mailed in or do that. They get service still from us. Not from us. I got a mouse in my pocket or something there, but from the police department. And it's professional, first-class service. I mean, I just think we're so gifted and fortunate. I grew up in San Francisco, and that's where early on I was a police officer. It was just a lot different. The whole technique of crime control and everything has changed, and our officers do it the best, believe me. Let me see if there's anything else important here, other than how important you are as people. The VIPs and the crossing guard reputation has continued to attract other agencies throughout the country. VIP's program development assistance was given to Emeryville PD, Fairfield PD, Menlo PD, Napa PD, San Mateo PD, Sierra Madre PD, Winters PD, Petaluma, and nationally for Endicott Auxiliary Police in New York, Larimer County, Colorado Sheriff's Department, Colorado Springs PD, and crossing guard assistance was provided the city of Riverside and for the California Safe Routes to School Technical Assistance Resource Center. What that really means is, Fairfield, I saw in the paper yesterday, they're considering deleting their crossing guards. I don't know how you can even think of it, with the way people drive their cars through intersections these days. And I'm not going to talk long on that, but I know that you know that. And our crossing guards have always been such a key, important part. I mean, no matter how angry you get when you see that red stop go up, you better stop and wait. So I'm going to close. And there's no sense me talking any longer. I learned a long time ago in politics, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I just want to tell you how personally proud of you I am, how grateful and thankful that I am, and the city is for all your contributions. These are the things I love to be at. So enjoy the rest of your day, have a good time here, and take care of those goldfish.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Look at that clock back there.
Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to the Volunteers in Police Service Appreciation Awards Luncheon for hours served in 2011. I am your ringmaster, Tanya Gay.
And I am Jeannie Whitehouse, the world's slowest reader.
World's slowest reader? Great.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't this the circus? Where's the Ring of Fire? And by the way, is anybody looking at the elephant in the room?
Okay, enough monkey business. Let's get down to business.
Okay, no clowning around.
Presenting awards today is our Mayor Steve Hardy, our Police Chief Richard Word, our Administrative Services Commander Lieutenant Terry Cates, and our Police Special Services Supervisor Suzanne Johnson.
To begin with, we would like to bring special recognition to a group of people who have faithfully served our police department, but due to various reasons have retired or moved from the area during 2011. We wish them all well and want to thank them for their dedicated service. Please come forward when we call your name.
Volunteers, when you come forward, please shake the chief and the mayor's hand and then turn around for a photo opportunity. Officer Julie Bailey will take your picture, and then you can shake Lieutenant Cates' hand and exit to stage left.
Please do not get too close to Lieutenant Cates. He bites.
Careful now.
Dave Graves. Dave started in April of 2010, and he worked with the VIP's Night Street Light Patrol and Canine Agitator, and he moved into the VIP's program after being an intern with the Vacaville Police Department. Dave has a growing family and new employment, and we wish him well in his career.
Denise Waddell started with us in March of 2003. She was a public live scan operator, and our plants miss her watering. She served 48 hours in 2011 with a total of 1,302 hours served.
We're going to stay for the first 2 years. You guys move down. We want to move down.
We may have to scooch the table.
Keep reading.
James Waddell, started in February of 2005. He worked as a records unit volunteer and donated 29 hours in 2011 with a total accumulation of hours of service of 1,099. Denise and James have moved from the area and now live in Nevada City.
Kathy Wallach started with us in the year 2000. She worked in senior wellness and on the vacation check team. In 2011, she gave us 90 hours with her total hours accumulated of 1952. Kathy retired her volunteer work at the beginning of this year. We love you, Kathy, and thanks for the 11 years of compassionate service to our at-risk seniors.
Ringa West. Ringa started at the police department in 2005, worked with senior wellness and the vacation check program, and in 2011 she worked 97 volunteer hours with a total accumulation of 888 hours. She's retired her volunteer work with us as of 2012. Ringa, thank you for 7 years of compassionate service to at-risk seniors within our community. God bless you. We wish you well.
That's it for those who have departed. Don't forget to give them an extra special hug at the end. I didn't say dearly departed, just departed. Give them an extra special hug at the end of the event. Now for our current volunteers.
Rosa Tijero. Rosa started with us in March of 2007 and worked as a... She went to work, but we really appreciate her. She did she worked in field ops and patrol assistance and donated 26 hours in 2011. Her total accumulated hours are 329.
Marion Elkins came to us in December of 2002, worked in crime prevention, park watch, the Browns Valley traffic for the first week of school. This year she dedicated 29 hours to us and a total accumulation of 575 hours.
George Atondo. George started with the police department in December of 2002, worked in crime prevention, park watch, and traffic at Browns Valley School during the first 2 weeks of school. He's donated 31 hours to service with a total accumulation of 662. George Atondo.
Lilia Fulton started with us in March of 2007, works in the VIPS patrol, parking enforcement, and in code compliance. In 2011, she gave us 49 hours, and her total accumulated is 1,014 hours.
Layla Martinelli. Layla started with us in September of 2011. She worked in fields ops as a patrol assistant with Ann Taglieri, worked with investigations and video, completed the VIPs Academy, and is assigned to video monitoring and patrol assistant, and she's already donated 50 hours of her time to service.
Robin Vogel started with us in September of 2011. She attended the VIPS Training Academy and is now assigned to the VIPS HAS team and also assisted with the Kaput Memorial. She gave us 50 hours in 2011 and has a total accumulation of 50 hours.
Carolyn Petch. Carolyn works in FIRST and started with us in 2005. She accumulated 70 hours of service in 2011 and a total accumulation of 873 hours of service.
Shirley Conroy came to us in September of 2011. She works VIPS Patrol and Parking Enforcement and has given us a total of 74 hours of service.
Jeffrey Johnson. Jeffrey started in October of 2000. He works in the volunteer section office, is an event technician, and works with Do You Think You Can as a volunteer. He's donated 74 hours in 2011, and his total accumulation of hours is 682.
James Lee started with us in September of 2011, graduated from the VIPS Academy, Training Academy, and now serves on the Senior Wellness and the Vacation Check team. His total accumulated hours for 2011 is 78.
Betty Pluy. Betty started in September of 2011, is a VIPs Academy graduate, and works in parking enforcement and code compliance. Her total hours of service in 2011 are 85.
Don Swartzell started with us in September of 2011, graduated from the VIPS Academy in September, and now works the VIPS Night Patrol, the Vandal Reports, the video monitoring, and also helped with the Kaput Memorial Service. His total dedicated hours are 87.
Jaime Santillan. Jaime started in September of 2011, graduated from the VIPs Academy in September, and works as a VIPs patrol and parking enforcement and code compliance, and also assisted with the Kaput Memorial Service. His total accumulation of hours is 88.
Mary Rose Larson started with us in September of 2011, graduated from the VIPS Academy that year, and now works the patrol section, parking enforcement, and is relief for the mail couriers. She also does data entry for crime analysis. Her total hours for 2011 are 91.
Ernie Ernest Hay. Ernie started in September of 2009. Works on the VIPs patrol, parking enforcement, and code compliance. In 2011, he worked 95 service hours, and his total accumulation of service hours is 264.
The next group of volunteers have qualified for the Presidential Bronze Service Award and will receive a certificate signed by the President of these United States, along with a Bronze Service Award pin. Wow. That's not on there. Sorry.
Gail Clapp. Gail started in September of 2011, has done data entry for crime analysis. She is new to the VIPs program, graduated in 2011 with the VIPs Academy, and is also a member of VCERT. Her total hours accumulated in 2011 are 100.
Ralph Wilcox started with us in May of 2001. He's with Crime Prevention, and he copies the court tickets for the officers. In 2011, he gave us 103 hours. His total hours accumulated are 1,961. And in 2004, he was the volunteer of the fourth quarter.
Carol Wilcox. Carol started with us in May of 2001. She's worked with Crime Prevention and copies court tickets for the officers. In 2011, she worked a total of 107 hours. Her total accumulated hours are 1,513 hours. And in 2004, she was the fourth quarter top volunteer.
Sherry Carter came to us in September of 2011 and graduated from the VIPS Academy in that year. She does parking enforcement on the VIPS patrol, the graffiti task force, and also served on Officer Kaput service. She gave us 110 hours in 2011.
Tamiko Silva. Tamiko started with us in January of 2011, graduated our VIPs Academy in 2011, works as a patrol assistant, a VIPs patrol and parking enforcement, and in addition helped with school traffic the first week of school and at the Kaput Memorial Service. She donated 111 hours of her time in 2011, and we'd like to congratulate her. She will be graduating the Napa Police Academy this September.
Dorothy Johnson started with us in September of 2011, graduated from the VIPS Academy that year, now works in the Senior Wellness and Vacation Check team, does department tours, and is a patrol assistant and does video monitoring. She gave us 112 hours last year.
Richard Clements. Richard started with us in September of last year, graduated from the VIPs Academy in 2011, worked as a patrol assistant and with video monitoring. He's worked a total of 113 hours this last year.
Timothy Cooper started with us in January of 2011, graduated the academy that year, and now does video monitoring, is a patrol assistant, and assisted in the Kaput Memorial. Gave us a total of 113 hours last year.
Dottie Lacey. Dottie started with us in May of last year, was a VIPs Academy graduate, works with Senior Wellness and the Vacation Check team, does video monitoring, and works as a patrol assistant for us. And she gave a total of 122 hours last year.
Edgar Rodas started with us in September of 2011, graduated the academy that year, now works the night streetlight patrol, the VIPS patrol parking enforcement, graffiti task force, and also worked the Kaput Memorial. Gave us 129 hours last year.
Janice Dimitru. Janice started with us in June of 2002, works in crime prevention and sends letters to victims, assists Virginia McCarty with VCERT. She is also employed by the city as a school crossing guard at Hemlock Elementary School, and she moonlights at the Fire Department Administration, where she's also a volunteer. Last year she worked 133 hours, but she's accumulated 1,668 service hours for the police department.
Dolores Woods came to us in September of 2009. She's at Admin Services and works in the mail, or transports the mail for Suzanne Johnson, works HAS and VIPS Patrol. She's a Monday mail carrier for us and is the on the HAS Canvas team, and she helps in crime prevention and also with the Kaput Memorial. She gave us 136 hours last year and a total of 485 hours.
Jacob Gibson. Jacob started with us in January of 2011, attended the VIP's Academy in 2011, does data entry for crime analysis and project for investigations. Congratulations, Jacob, on graduating the Napa Police Academy in November. Jacob has already given 180 hours of time to the police department.
Judy Mayring started working for us in January of 2006. She works in records, does live scan, and crime prevention events. She gave us 184 hours last year with a total of 1,767 hours.
David Kellis Sr. David started with us in March of 2007, works with the VIP's patrol, parking enforcement, and code compliance, as well as the Kaput Memorial last year. He's donated 190 hours of service in 2011 with a total accumulation of 845 hours.
Some of you may have noticed that each person that comes up has volunteered just a little more time in 2011 than the person before them, as they're lined up in ascending order. The following volunteers served over 200 hours in 2011 and will receive a little pen and a flashlight keyring set for their faithful service. That's special.
Mary Walkrall. Mary started with us in March of 2005, assists with senior wellness and the vacation check team, sends victims letters for crime prevention, and dedicated 239 hours this last year. Her total accumulation of hours is 1,608, and she was awarded the Second Quarter Award Volunteer Award in 2005.
The following individuals have qualified for the Silver Presidential Service Award and will receive a letter from the President of these United States and a Silver Service Award pin.
Jackie Martinson. Jackie started with us in March of 2007. She works data entry for crime analysis and served in records for a few months. In 2011, she worked 250 hours with a total accumulation of 1,433 hours. And in 2008, she was the Third Quarter Volunteer Awardee.
Robert Fulton came to us in March of 2007, works VIPS Patrol, parking enforcement, and code compliance. He gave us 264 hours last year with a total of 1,626 hours.
Gloria Meter. Gloria started with us in January of last year. She created the elephant that you see on the wall behind us. Really amazing artist. She works in data entry for crime analysis, graduated from the VIP's Academy in 2011, and last year she donated 279 service hours.
Dorothy Aschenbrenner came to us in September of 2009. She oversees the video monitoring team and the patrol assistant team. She assists with PAL events and has served in crime prevention. Last year she gave us 282 hours with a total accumulation of 483 hours, and in 2011 was the volunteer of the second quarter.
Jerry McCord. Jerry started with us in September of 2008. She works with FIRST, which is the Family Investigative Response Services team. Last year she donated 293 hours in service, and her total accumulation is 864 service hours. Thank you.
Mark Mark Collins started with us in January of 2011, works VIPS patrol, parking enforcement, and data entry for crime analysis. He donated 315 hours for us last year.
Jan Green. Jan started with us in October of 2000, oversees the VIP's HAS team, and helps in the VIP's section office. Last year she worked 321 hours. Her total accumulation is 937. In 2010, she was the third quarter volunteer.
Rosemary Jackson came to us in September of 2008. She works on the Senior Wellness and the Vacation Check team, and also for FIRST. Last year she gave us 379 hours. Her total accumulation is 1,069, and in 2011 she was the volunteer of the third quarter.
We had 3 individuals achieve their Lifetime Presidential Service Award this year. When a volunteer serves a total of 4,000 hours, they qualify for this award. This year, achieving this award are Ray Benjamin, who could not be here today, and the second is Johanna Hoagland. The third will be announced later.
Secrets. Johanna Hoagland started with us in June of 2002. There you are. She oversees the live scan team. She works in records and in crime prevention. She does department tours. And congratulations, Johanna, on graduating chaplaincy school. She now serves as a community chaplain on call. Last year she gave us 380 hours. Her total accumulation is 4,002 hours. Volunteer of the first quarter in 2003 and the third quarter in 2005.
Diane Stadler. Diane started working with us in March of 2005. She's the department tour coordinator and works in records. And she actually helps me more than I can say, and she's absolutely indispensable. Thank you, Diane. Last year she helped with 382 service hours, and her total accumulation is 2,212.
Amy Turiokaka. I said it right, didn't I? Yeah. Amy came to work for us in January of 2011. She graduated in February of that year as the valedictorian of the academy. She works in property and evidence, live scan. She's a live scan operator. She works in the volunteer section office, and she conducts backgrounds, department tours, and special events. She did write some parking tickets, and she was in a K-9 agitator once. She worked 339 hours in 2011, and Suzanne would like to offer kudos to Amy, who served the most hours of her entire graduating class in 2011. She did this despite extreme hardships most people would have used as excuses. Did you already give her the little something?
Yeah.
Oh, Suzanne has a little something for you. A little something extra for your success. Thank you for all you do.
Bruce DeClaire. Bruce started with us in September of 2009, works the VIP's patrol and parking enforcement. He's the team lead of the afternoon patrol assisting community services with neighborhood parks. He does some video monitoring, night patrol, and also helps as a patrol assistant. Last year he worked 401 hours with a total accumulation of 1,187 service hours.
Jackie Graves started with us in February of 2005. She's the team leader of the Senior Wellness and Vacation Check teams. She works in crime prevention with McGruff and worked on the Kaput Memorial. She gave us 401 hours last year with a total of 2,464 hours, and was the volunteer of the third quarter in 2009.
Ken Gallagher. Ken started with us in March of 2007. He works with the VIP's patrol, parking enforcement, and code compliance. Last year, he worked 423 service hours, and his total accumulation is 1,498. He was the volunteer of the fourth quarter for 2011.
Butch Lawrence DeHart. Started with us in September of 2009. Works in records and on LiveScan. He's a patrol assistant. He's actually the assistant lead. He does video monitoring and a couple of extra projects. He gave us 439 hours last year with a total accumulation of 832 and was volunteer of the second quarter in 2010.
Larry Lawrence Hall.
Yay!
Yay! Larry started in September of 2004 and assists in property and evidence. Last year, he worked a total of 466 service hours. His total accumulation since he started is 3,940 service hours. He was the volunteer of the fourth quarter in 2005, was the VIPs of the year for 2005, and also was awarded volunteer of the second quarter in 2008.
That's my Larry. He works in my office, and if not for him, the evidence warehouse would be bulging. Ralph Petty came to work for us in September of 2009. He's in admin services and VIPS patrol assistant lead. He works parking enforcement and code compliance. He's a VCERT instructor in training and utilizes his former life as a firefighter to do that. Gave us 491 hours in 2011, a total of 1,173 hours donated, and for the fourth quarter in 2010, he was the volunteer of the quarter.
The following volunteers served over 500 hours in 2011 and will receive the Gold Presidential Service Award and Gold Service Pin. These volunteers will also receive a gift certificate for their above and beyond service to the community.
Renee McAlpin Hensley. She started with us in July of 2008 as a patrol assistant, and she also assists with PAL events and is often called upon by the officers of her time to come in and help with individual cases. She recently helped our Officer Lopez identify over 100 potential identity theft victims, and she serves with zeal. She had 526 hours in 2011 with a total of 2,155 hours. Wait a minute, I'm not done. Volunteer of the first quarter in 2009, and we would like to congratulate Renee on her recent nuptials. Renee Brasher, and we're supposed to ask Tony to stand up and wave and show everybody who he is.
Sue Petty. Sue started with us in June of, I did not say Stu, I said Sue. In June of 2010. She oversees the Citizen Ride Along program, works with VIP's patrol, parking enforcement, and code compliance. She also helps in background investigations for the VIP section office and helped with 30 backgrounds last year. She worked a total of 530 hours in 2011 with a total accumulation of 757, and she was the volunteer of the first quarter in 2011.
Joe Fody came to us in March of 2009. He works on the graffiti task force and in PD administration. Was a big help there before we went paperless on our timesheets, I must say. He helps with the vehicle upkeep, and he works as a patrol assistant and VCERT. He gave us 604 hours last year with a total accumulation of 1,688 hours.
Sally Rowdy. Sally started with us in September of 2008, and she volunteers in FIRST. She gave over 600 hours of clerical work for FIRST last year. The VIP's Has Canvas project was also something she worked on last year, with a total of 627 service hours in 2011, a total accumulation of 1,951 hours. She was the volunteer of the second quarter in 2009.
Matthew Pryor came to work for us in September of 2009. He works on the graffiti task force as a lead. He wears funny hats. He works on the night street patrol. It is a circus, and you'll fit right in. So he works on the street light patrol as a lead, and the afternoon parks patrol, helping community services, and is involved in the HAS Canvas project. He gave us 634 hours last year.
I want this one for Facebook.
With a total of 1,329 hours. Was volunteer of the quarter in the first quarter in 2010. And he was VIPS of the year in 2010.
Leela Watkins. Leela may get up here. Leela started with us in March of 2005. She works with the admin services, specifically in records, under the supervision of Bette Burnham. She donated over 650 hours in records, and in the first half of the year she helped with senior wellness and vacation check team. Last year she worked 727 hours, with a total accumulation of 4,457 hours since she started with us. She was a volunteer of the third quarter in 2006. Leela is our third recipient of the Presidential Lifetime Award. Congratulations, Leela.
The next two volunteers continue to amaze the department with their dedicated faithfulness. They've both served over 2,000 hours in 2011. And in addition, they both served over 12,000 hours since they became volunteers in 2007.
Other than their first polo and dress shirts, volunteers purchase their own uniform. The next two will find an additional gift certificate to Quinn's uniforms.
Gus Alebris. Did I say it right, Gus? Yes. Where are you? Yep. I messed it up so bad last year, I just have to apologize. Gus came to work for us in March of 2007. He does the DA runs Tuesday through Friday, him and Shirley. He's a department mail carrier. He works in records. He works park watch and bike path patrol. He works in crime prevention and conducts tours and about 9 additional events throughout the year. In 2011, he gave us 2,418 hours. Gus's total accumulation is 12,278 hours. And in the fourth quarter of 2007 and 2008, he was nominated for Volunteer of the Quarter and was actually the VIPS of the year in 2008, the Volunteer and Police Service Volunteer of the Year.
His partner in crime, Shirley Teitler, started with us in March of 2007. She works in admin services, park watch, and does the mail. She also assists Suzanne Johnson and does the DA run, and also assists Susan Santos, our budget manager. The DA and mail run on the Tuesdays through Fridays, helps in records, and she refills the copiers with paper, which is just so awesome. She does park watch, bike path patrol, crime prevention, tours, and she's a great cook. And she does just about anything you need help with, including 9 events. Last year, she donated 2,958 service hours with a total accumulation of 12,818. Gus, she's got you beat, guy. You gotta. She was the fourth quarter volunteer in 2007, fourth quarter volunteer in 2008, and was the VIP of the year in 2008.
With the following volunteers of the 2011 quarters, please come forward and line up between the chief and the mayor. Sue Petty for the first quarter, Dorothy Aschenbrenner for the second quarter, Rosemary Jackson for the third quarter, and Ken Gallagher for the fourth quarter.
Please take a step forward as your name is called.
Sue Petty. Sue volunteers 3 days per week, which she divides among several duties, and provided 530 volunteer hours in 2011. She coordinates the Citizen Ride-Along program for field operations, is a courier for the DA run on Mondays, partners with her husband Ralph on the VIPS control team and with parking enforcement and code compliance. She provides administrative assistance to the VIPS section office, where she compiles team logs for the weekly report. She worked additional days and hours to assist Suzanne with 30-plus backgrounds of the new school crossing guards and volunteers. Sue is willing to do whatever is needed. She has a positive attitude, a humble spirit, and works well with everyone, employees, the public, and other volunteers. Her dedication to the department, the tasks at hand, and the people set her apart. She was named Volunteer of the First Quarter 2011.
Dorothy Aschenbrenner. Dorothy accepted a lead role developing and coordinating the video monitoring program in January 2010 under the direction of Detective Andrew Pollack. Dorothy attended special training and drafted objectives, procedure, and report forms. Through persistent involvement and great leadership, the program became a reality in May of 2011. Dorothy trained half a dozen volunteers, and the team put in over 540 surveillance hours in 2011. In addition to the video monitoring, Dorothy serves as a lead patrol assistant. She constantly cleans the report writing area, always has a bright smile, and is very positive in thought, and the officers are very grateful. She is courteous, kind, and displays great pride in the work she does. Dorothy served 282 hours in 2010 and was named Volunteer of the Second Quarter.
Rosemary Jackson. Rosemary has been with the Volunteers in Police Service program since 2008. She has served over 1,069 hours, 378 of them in 2011. She has faithfully worked at the first office despite personal complications. Rosemary always does what she can with a great sense of humor and commitment. She has been extremely helpful to the first staff, especially when they've had children in the office. Grandma Rosemary is always on hand to keep them entertained. In addition to FIRST, Rosemary visits at-risk seniors on the Senior Wellness and Vacation Check team with a partner every Tuesday morning. As in all she does, it is with compassion and humor. Well-deserving, Rosemary Jackson was named Volunteer of the Third Quarter 2011 for her dedication and uplifting presence.
Ken Gallagher. Ken joined the VIPs in 2007 and has faithfully served over 1,500 hours, 422 of those just last year. He is assigned to parking enforcement and code compliance, where he issues parking citations, vehicle tags for abandoned and unattended vehicles, and unattached trailers on the public street. Ken also issues inspection reports for municipal code violations such as basketball hoops, garbage toters, and obstructions of public right-of-way such as overgrown trees and bushes. Ken is reliable and demonstrates his commitment by showing up to work every Wednesday and working an average of approximately 15 cases per week. He also assists in delivering flyers door to door when needed to educate residences on the public nuisance ordinance. According to code staff, Ken's work is always complete and accurate. He never complains and clearly enjoys his duties, as he is always happy. Ken is a team player with a can-do attitude who has the city's best interest at heart. Ken Gallagher was named Volunteer of the Fourth Quarter.
And the 2011 2011 Volunteer of the Year is, drum roll please. Okay, that's enough. Sue Petty. Congratulations, Sue.
Chief Word, our part is done. We now turn the proceedings back over to you.
Yay!